Hey there, Starfield explorers. Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the most exhilarating adventures across the galaxy. Today we have something truly special. We're breaking down the Crimson Fleet Questline Deep cover from Bethesda's Starfield. This quest is an absolute game changer and I cannot wait to share the juicy details with you. First up, let's set the stage. In order to trigger the Crimson Fleet Questline, we need to be arrested by the UC, SysDef, and to do that I've already acquired some contraband that they can use against me. Once I'm arrested, they will negotiate me going undercover to unmask the Crimson Fleet plot. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see Andresia and girls have been doing some pole dancing. And this is one of the mod houses, the one at Rasselay, I think it's called. It's definitely the absolute best. Now we have to find the exit. Can't remember to get out of here. Around here somewhere. Through the other side though. Yes. Already got my contraband on me, so we should be right.
I have some.
And we will go.
I need to discuss with you.
Right towards Alpha Centauri, Jemison. And hopefully they'll pick us up straight away. And we have a bounty. I suspect that might help.
I found something you might like. The way it's shaped reminded me of you.
You are entering United Colony space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned.
Well, we've already got my upgraded Crimson Fleet White, number 3.
Scan detected contraband on board. Halt and prepare to be boarded. All illegal and stolen goods will be confiscated. I've got special orders. You're coming with me. Stand down and prepare for immediate transport to our vessel.
And this looks like we're going
Smart decision.
straight there,
Stand by
which is
to be
good.
boarded and transferred.
I'm telling you, the commander's got plans for this loser. Why else would he be going through all this trouble? I still don't understand why he trusts a criminal. Seems like too much of a risk. Stop worrying and keep an eye on our guest. I'll be right back. You just sit tight. The commander wants to have a little chat.
That would be Commander Kundo.
I hope you're comfortable. We have a lot to discuss. I'm your ticket out of the mess you've gotten yourself into. That's all you need to know for now. Highly perceptive. Let me add that to your list of skills. Speaking of which, let's see what we're working with here. It appears you spent several years as a bounty hunter. That type of background will get you quite far around here. I also see that you mined on Vectera. And now you're with Constellation. You've certainly been quite busy. Oh, and look at that. Right at the bottom of this list is the criminal incident that landed you in my crosshairs. You're absolutely right. Well, I'll have my people get right on that. Now that we have that out of the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Commander Kibwe Ikande, and I'm in charge of this operation for UC SysDef. Are you familiar with what we do? United Colonies System Defense. Does that help you figure out exactly what it is we do? Actually, that's something new we're trying. I figured we needed to branch out a bit, broaden our horizons. UC SysDef is a division of the UC Navy. While they handle the big picture stuff, we deal with a very particular problem. The Crimson Fleet. That convict is where you enter the picture. On the books, they maintain combat-ready spaceborne forces to deter aggression and ensure the safety of the United Colonies. What all that fancy claptrap means is that they're the ones who fight in the wars to keep our territories secure. Are we really playing this game? The pirates, like the ones you tangled with on Vectera? Please stop pretending you have no idea what I'm talking about. No, you don't. Not yet, anyway. We've been prodding at the Crimson Fleet for years, trying to take them down one ship at a time. But we barely scratched the surface. If we can get someone on the inside, we have a shot at finding a loose thread we can pull to bring it all down. If the military rolls in and attacks the Crimson Fleet, we'd have a full-scale war on our hands. That means losses, heavy losses, that the United Colonies can't afford. That's where you and I differ. As a citizen of the United Colonies, I accept my responsibilities. You, on the other hand, clearly couldn't give a damn. Look, I'm going to make this simple. Agree to work for UC SysDef, and together we take down the Crimson Fleet. Refuse, and I tell these guys to throw you into the nearest lockup. Might even tack on an extra few hundred credits to your fine. I'm not coercing you into doing anything. I'm simply giving you a chance to redeem yourself. So, what do you say? You going to work with me, or should I find someone else? If I didn't think you had a chance, I would have left you in lockup. You're just going to have to follow your instincts and trust me. You aren't leaving until I have an answer.
Well, I guess the choice is clear.
Smart choice. I'm going to have one of my men escort you to the operations center. I strongly suggest that you don't give him any trouble. And don't bother trying to leave the ship. I think you'll find all access to the docking area is fully restricted.
All right, let's go. So, you took the op instead of serving the time. Gonna be the commander's new mole, huh? Going in all alone, infiltrating a bunch of pirates. You've got a lot of guts. Still, it makes you wonder, especially with the stories that go around.
Excuse me.
Like the one about how the fleet deals with informants by lashing them to the hull of a ship, and then slowly letting the air out of their suit. Could you imagine a worse way to go? I know I couldn't. But I wouldn't worry about it. Since the commander handpicked you, I'm guessing you can hold your breath for a really long time, right?
Oh, about 2 minutes. That's about it.
Conde's on level 2. Try not to touch anything until he actually clears you.
Alex Bond. Get to know more about him a little bit later.
I'm not authorized to answer your questions. All right, this is as far as I go. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Conde should be waiting for you.
Pardon? Hey.
The Vigilance is a state-of-the-art warship. Anyone that gets on the wrong end of her guns is gonna have a bad time.
Howdy.
Ah, there you are. Excellent. Now that we've established your level of cooperation with us, I want to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, SysDef's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. We are currently in the Sol system, in deep orbit around Phobos. As to why, I'll explain momentarily. Whether this ship is impressive or not, you're the key element that we've been lacking. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Let's get one thing straight right now. While you're working for me, I'm going to treat you like one of my own. Whatever crimes you committed in the past no longer matter. You're now an agent of SysDef, meaning that it's my job to keep you alive. It certainly does. So listen up. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bolden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. Aurora is a Class A controlled substance that's illegal to transport outside of Neon, a city on Volai. Get caught with this stuff aboard a ship, and you're looking at some serious fines. That's classified. Suffice to say that the smuggler who was previously hauling it will be spending the rest of their life in prison. That's right. So it'll be your job to convince this person that you're the real deal. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Let's just say my superiors need proof that engaging the Crimson Fleet is a larger priority than they're willing to admit. If we shove enough concrete evidence under their noses, they'll have no choice but to allocate the resources that I've requested. At the same time, we can use the evidence to arrest members of the Crimson Fleet, weakening them enough to strike a fatal blow. If I didn't have confidence in your abilities, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. Then you better learn to swim, because you're diving right into the deep end on this one. I've studied your profile. I know you can do this. I'm not about to throw away someone's life on a whim or a prayer. Just use your best judgment, trust your instincts, and watch your back. At this point, whether you like it or not, you're working for me. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. The Crimson Fleet doesn't follow the rules. They only abide by one theme: money. All of their morals and social graces fall by the wayside in pursuit of their greed. At first glance, this can appear quite enticing, so I'm warning you not to get lured into their trap. Think you can handle that? To put it simply, you can't go into every situation with guns blazing. Think before you act. Calculate what you're doing and pull the trigger only when it's absolutely necessary. At the end of the day, your primary goal is taking down the Crimson Fleet. That's the greater good. Well, you better learn quick. Otherwise, I'll start looking for someone to take your place. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. For your own safety, nobody but myself and the crew of the Vigilance will be aware that you're working for the United Colonies. Basically, if you land in jail, you're going to have to deal with the fines. All we know is that she's been with the Trade Authority for years, which means she's been privy to some seriously shady deals. She's shrewd and she's diligent. The only reason we were able to connect her with the Crimson Fleet at all was thanks to an informant. I'm afraid she's the best lead we've got. That's easy to answer. You don't. We'll be monitoring your activities from the Vigilance and attempting to keep it within your vicinity. When you feel you've gathered enough evidence, and at the completion of your assignments, head back here for a debrief. Beyond that, you're completely on your own. While you're running with the Crimson Fleet, you're undoubtedly going to be faced with some morally gray decisions. It's going to be difficult for you to weigh the consequences of pulling the trigger while maintaining your cover. Do what you have to do, but remember why you're out there in the first place. I'm not advocating violence. I'm merely urging you to weigh the consequences before you open fire. Look, I can see that you're struggling with this. So let me simplify this for you. If there's a route to your goal which doesn't involve killing innocent people, I'm urging you to follow that path. Use your instincts. I'm certain you'll do the right thing. Good luck.
Hello.
Lieutenant Toft. Come on, gals. Go and get our Crimson Fleet gear on. Turn somewhere. Okay. I don't remember being this difficult. Yeah, that's the computer. Come on. There we go. Now that should take us back. Let me, Lieutenant Tuft.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? Well, you better. Commander Akande's entire operation is resting on your shoulders. I want data slates, computer downloads, handwritten notes. Hell, I'll take anything if it'll get those bastards thrown into the brig. Haven't you been paying attention? Our goal here is the complete eradication of the Crimson Fleet. In order to do that, we need to dismantle them piece by piece from within. If you bring me evidence, we can make arrests and slowly drain their resources. Think of it as a death by 1,000 tiny cuts. It's not you, it's the Crimson Fleet. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. What? No. It's personal. It has nothing to do with you. Just stick to the mission and you'll be fine. I was hoping that you'd be inspired into thinking this is more than a punishment. It appears that I was wrong. I suppose we'll simply have to motivate you in a different way. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. Well, that's just it. You're not career military, are you? And speaking frankly, you're completely out of pocket during this operation. You'll be paying for your own supplies and other unexpected incidentals. So, if I were you, I'd stop asking questions and accept the compensation. It's not generous, it's motivational. Commander Akande's idea. All right, we've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo hold. We're also providing you with a sample you can use to tease the goods. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. Make contact with Saoirse Bowden, and with any luck, she'll point you to the Crimson Fleet. That should do it. You're dismissed. Don't worry, the container's been registered with UC Security, so you shouldn't have any trouble. Even if you're scanned. Of course, if we find out you tried to sell it to someone outside the boundaries of this particular operation, well, I don't think I need to tell you the consequences of making that mistake. We'll be keeping them close at hand until this operation is complete. So, we'll be holding them in the Vigilance's brig. If you're feeling particularly ruthless, you could always head down there and say hello. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to see you. Not really, no. I've learned to keep my personal experiences separate from the job. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that you care. It's just that I don't feel like now's an appropriate time to be discussing these things. Let's just stick to the job at hand and concentrate on the mission. But, maybe we can talk about it some other time, okay? Let me know if you need anything else.
Alrighty. And now that we've got Evas.
Hi. Please disregard. I attempted an informal greeting.
I found something for you. I thought you should be the first to have it.
We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course.
Now.
We're unlatched. Free and clear.
Some super speed. We could probably take them down now, but it would defeat the purpose of this mission. So I'm going to turn off my turrets and walk to the shields and to make our way to Sidonia.
You should be the
I
first to
picked up
have it.
something you might be interested in.
Well, probably need to put our suit on. As you can see, we've got the gals all fitted out in the Crimson Fleet crew gear.
You might like. The way it's shaped reminded me of you.
Sidonia can have a depressing effect on some people.
The UC Exchange is a great place to buy your weapons. Just make sure to keep them holstered.
If you're here to buy or sell, you might want to talk to Octai. I'm busy. Octai Enbayar. He's the head of our Sidonia branch. If you want to do some trading, he's the one you need to be talking to. I'm busy.
Oh, your Irish accent is terrible.
And by sensitive, I'm guessing you mean something you don't want UC security sticking their noses into. I can probably help you with that. What have you got for me? I'm not talking price until I know what the hell I'm buying. Whoa, way too hot for me. That stuff is nothing but bad news. Why don't you take your shipment and try somewhere else?
If the Trade Authority is not interested, that says a great deal.
No, they're right. What they didn't tell you is that I have a self-preservation streak 1 kilometer wide. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, I might, well, bend the rules a little bit. You must be new at this game, love, so I'm gonna let that one slide. In our business, nothing gets done until money is exchanged, even if that means leaving a credit on each and every rung of the ladder as you climb your way up. You know, it's funny. Suddenly, I do remember someone who might be able to unload that stuff for you.
Just demand the extra credits up front next time. These games are juvenile and tiresome.
There's a buddy of mine who runs with the Crimson Fleet. Goes by the name Adler Kemp. If he isn't passed out, you can find him killing the rest of his brain cells at the Broken Spear. Oh, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
We don't have any moments.
This here is the most important work in the galaxy. We mine the resources.
Unless you're here to serve me another drink, you can turn around and walk away. Oh, yeah? Well, I don't know who the hell you are. So what makes you think I'm going to help you out? Hey, why don't you say that a little louder? I don't think every single UC guard in Sidonia heard you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we can help you with this. If you've got a whole shipment of this stuff, you're going to need to move it fast. But you're going to have to do something for us first.
Of course.
Pipe down! What the hell's the matter with you? You want to get us both thrown into lockup? Look, I don't know what that big-mouth Saoirse told you, but I keep who I run with a secret in public. And I suggest you do the same. Now, do you want my help moving your product, or not? You're a clever one, aren't you? Let's just say, I have a certain influential affiliation. And leave it at that. Basically, you want that Aurora moved, I'm your guy. Right down to business! And no small talk. I like it.
I see no good reason why we should have any extra dealings with the likes of you.
Lady, if you want me to move that shipment for your pal here, you're going to do whatever the hell I want. You got that? Now listen up, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I need you to deal with a miner who's racked up a bunch of debt. He probably spent it all on booze, not that I blame him. Either way, I want that money back. What do I need to do here? Write you an instruction manual? You can do this loud, you can do this quiet. I don't care. I just want my goddamn money, and I want this guy to remember who he screwed over. Feel free to throw as many credits in my face as you want, but that isn't the point. We need to make an example out of this guy. His name's Carl Fielding. I think you'll find him wandering around the Deimos miners' quarters. Don't worry, you can't miss him. Just look for the most miserable-looking guy in the entire place.
We should have a...
There are many stories in the videos.
Something I can help you with? Hey, slow down. I don't even know what you're talking about. What? Play what games? You're obviously confusing me with someone else. Look, I'm tired. It's been a long day in the mines. I just want to go home, wash off the dust, and relax. This has been fun, though. Whatever. Hey, I'm only kidding with you. Please, give me a second to think. Oh, wait. You mean that, Adler? Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about someone else. I told him I'd pay up next week when Deimos cuts our next profit share check. I'll even bring it to him personally. Sound good? Yeah? Come on! Give me a break! What the... Look, I haven't got a single credit to spare right now. Okay? You can't squeeze blood from a stone. You know? Right?
Clearly this man has never seen how hard I can squeeze.
I'm a miner for Deimos. It's not what I was hoping for out of life. But here I am. Yeah, it's a lousy company. Pays me a salary. But I depend on the profit-sharing bonuses to keep food on the table for my family. What games? Why are you doing this to me? I don't have the money. You're starting to make a lot of sense. Please, tell Adler I'm sorry for trying to wiggle out of the debt. I didn't have much of a choice.
What can I do for you, Captain?
In order to avoid injury, there's something I need to do. Safe conditions on the upper level to the civilian department.
Taking things day by day, you know?
Never forget.
Mr. India summary.
Do your part to keep Sidonia
Have something for me? There, would you look at that? I knew that bum was holding out on me. He going to be a problem anymore? Or did he get the message? Nice, nice. You're kind of a natural at this. Leaning on deadbeats comes easy to you. I like that. You know, if you like this kind of work, I can get you more. A lot more. You think you can handle running with my, associates? That's what I'm talking about. I like your style. All right. I'll call ahead and get a hold of Nevamora. She's second to the big boss himself. Head out to Europa. You'll find her there. I suggest you listen to whatever she has to say. Oh, and I've taken care of that Aurora shipment for you too. Don't spend all that cash in one place.
Am I glad I got this job?
And that is the end of part 1 of the Crimson Fleet Questline. Don't forget to ring that bell and be notified of the next one. And cheers. Have a good one, guys. Catch us next time.